it. I know it. We know it. We kind of share it. We mix it. And we do everything there. Anyways, how are you? How has the last 24 hours been? How are things in your neck of the woodso? Yeah, that's always an important thing. Anyways, today is Friday, Freeform Friday, October the 6th of 2023, day 279th of the year, and only 86 days left to go. We are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. So what does that mean? Well, that means that we are live because we are live, you see? Live-zo. It doesn't get more live-zo than that. So we are broadcasting across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place. Radio Big. Oh, yes, hanging out with our friends at Radio Big because that's what we do. We get big and hang out with them. That's what we do on that side of the equation. So don't worry about all that kind of fun stuff, because that is what is happening. So, there you go. A lot of stuff, a lot of things, some discussion stuff, and all that kind of stuff will be going on this lovely Friday. It is Freeform Friday, so what does that mean if you've never hung out here before? Well, it kind of goes like this. We talk about safety in the news and safety. That never changes. But it's the Freeform version, which means that we're going to play catch-up on everything that we did not do earlier. Meaning that everything that we were calabasas about and never spoke about, well, we get to play catch-up this week and talk about those things. So it's, I won't say it's a wrap-up show, because it's not a wrap-up show, because there are some new things that come out of it. We give you everything that's going on inside of the sequence of the news, so don't worry about that aspect of it. But we will talk about, some of the stories that might have potentially been missed. Some of the stories that didn't make the sequencio of events. So that's what's going on. That is the streamer and talking about all that stuff. So there you go. If you want to interact with the show, it's a simple process. It's known as callinradio.com. Callinradio.com will get you where you want to be, and maybe even places that you don't want to be. That's kind of how it goes from time to time. So if you get over here, hang out with us, we will, we'll get you inside of here and do the meso that we normally do, because why wouldn't we do that? So there you go. That's it. That's it. So now you know. I know. Blah, blah, blah. Freeform Radio. It's a 3-hour show. The first hour is Rated R Safety Show. The next 2 hours are the Jay Allen in the Morning Show, which we do mostly on Radio Big. So there you go. So if we are ready for some of the plethora of events to talk about, let's start talking right away about what the hell was trending.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so if I look at the trends of the ends, a former colleague of Sam Bankman-Fried says that there's no question the company committed fraud and an early blow to his defense strategy. We'll talk about that as we get into the shit list. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a super strict parent, and Amy Schumer sends out a warning about her getting old. I guess you need a warning for that. Chris Rock's in talks to produce a biopic of MLK Jr., and Sunny Hostin wants to host a controversial new reality series. We'll talk about that as we get into hour 2 and 3. Caitlyn Jenner no longer speaks to this ex. Oh, I don't know why that's even part of the stuff, but hey, that's what's going on. So we will cover all of this stuff and go from there and talk about that. So now you know. I know. You know. We all know. And we kind of go from there. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, and we know what you're talking about, we're good. We should be good to go with everything going forward. Are you good? I'm good. So let's do it all, because I think it's time to do so. So with that being said, why don't we bring in some professional broadcasters, let them be professional and broadcast their hearts away, because I think that's what we need to do right now. So here is the news coming your way right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Biden is defending his administration's move to build more border wall in southern Texas. More from Mark Mayfield.
The president told reporters on Thursday that the money had already been appropriated and DHS was required to use those funds for what it was intended for. He said he tried to redirect the money and was not able to. Congress appropriated the funds in 2019 for construction of a border barrier in the Rio Grande Valley. Biden promised during his 2020 campaign that he would not build another foot of wall during his administration. I'm Mark Mayfield.
The U.S. is resuming direct deportation flights of Venezuelan migrants next week. More from Trey Thomas.
On Thursday, a Biden administration official announced any Venezuelans who illegally cross the border and do not establish a legal basis to remain will be flown back to their home country. Last month, the Biden administration offered a temporary protected status and work authorization to anyone from Venezuela who's lived in the U.S. before August. I'm Trey Thomas.
Reports say Donald Trump may visit House Republicans on Capitol Hill ahead of the speakership election next week. The potential visit comes as some Republican members have said they support the former president becoming the next Speaker of the House following Kevin McCarthy's removal. Trump said this week he'll do whatever is best for the country, but added he's focused on his presidential campaign. Imprisoned Iranian human rights activist Narges Mohammadi is the winner of the 2023 Nobel Peace Prize. The committee announced this morning Mohammadi is being recognized for her fight against the oppression of all women in Iran and her fight to promote human rights and freedom for all. The United Auto Workers president will make an announcement on Facebook Live today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be regarding a possible expansion of their strike against the big three automakers. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
The national gas average price could fall to $3.25 by Halloween. More from Lisa Taylor.
Oil prices spiked last week and now are suddenly falling dramatically. They fell nearly 6% on Wednesday. According to AAA, prices at the pump then fell to $3.77 on Thursday. Lippo Oil Associates President Andy Lippo told CNN that they'll plunge further to about $3.50 a gallon nationally over the next few weeks.
The former campaign treasurer for Long Island, New York Congressman George Santos is pleading guilty to conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government. Natalie Migliori with more.
Nancy Marks' attorney, Ray Perini, claims the embattled congressman mentally seduced his client, adding Marks deeply regrets her actions.
Nancy paid the price for believing in him, and it's a dear price. She's given up her career, basically, her reputation.
Marks admitted to filing false reports about the amount of donations the Santos campaign was receiving in 2020 and 2022. Santos himself pleaded not guilty in the spring to several fraud charges. Marks' lawyer says she has no cooperative agreement with prosecutors in that case, but will testify if she's called upon.
Several California cities are praised for green living. More from Lucinda Kay.
10 California cities made the top 20 out of 100 for America's greenest cities. San Diego is number 1, San Jose 6, San Francisco 7, Oakland 8, LA did not make the list. WalletHub, a financial website, assessed the data. They looked at environment, transportation, energy sources, lifestyle, and policy. Gilbert, Arizona, is ranked last.
Officials say a 400-pound pig was responsible for a multi-day crime spree in Aurora, Colorado.
Through police department, through our own dispatch of a disturbance and some property getting torn up and some traffic issues.
That's Augusta Allen, field supervisor for Aurora Animal Services, who said it took days to track down the animal called Fred. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with home title lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HomeTitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HomeTitleLock.com.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Tearing the ass out of you like gas station sushi.
Always replicated, but never duplicated. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, there you go. 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Friday, doing that thing that we get to do in all kinds of live modes. Yeah, baby. So there you go. Some stuff going on for sure, so keep that in mind as we are talking. So let's get into the shit list right away, because that is what we do around here. We get the shit stirring and then we get moving, because there is no other way around it. Anyways, a former FTX executive said that his testimony on Thursday that he and his colleagues committed fraud while managing the company. Worth remembering, convicting Sam Bankman-Fried hinges on proving that he knew it was wrong to use the money of his customers' accounts for personal expenses and business operations. Now, Gary Wang, credited the co-founder of the crypto exchange, says that there's no question about it. We gave special privileges to Alameda Research to allow it to withdraw unlimited funds and lied about it. And he said this. So there you go. This is coming via CoinDesk. It's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. No doubt. No doubt. Anyways, take a listen to this one. Here's a good old case of stone cold irony. And that's maybe the stone cold shirt today. Last Saturday, California Highway Patrol pulled over a man named Raymond Barrantes for an erratic driving, later to discover that he was drunk behind the wheel. In 2015, Barrantes received an award for Mothers Against Drunk Driving because he was responsible for the most DUI arrests by Sacramento Police Department. For what it's worth, Barrantes was off duty at the time of his arrest. This is according to KCRA. Hey, listen, we all mess up at some point. This guy got caught. I mean, listen, I know that it's an oxy, but think about it. These things do happen.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so take a listen to this. Believe it or not, the cost of buying and maintaining a car could be much worse. In Singapore, buying a driver's license now costs the equivalent of $76,000 just for the license. And if you want an SUV, it costs over $106,000. Worth noting, Singapore is an island country, and a giant city is all in one, and often rated the most expensive place in the world to live. The median household income is over $7,000 a month. The good news is that you can still get around on the wheels for a much lower price. A motorbike license runs you about $8,000. This is according to CNN. So, there you go. You know, I have to tell you. I mean, I don't have to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. Maybe I should say it that way. I've been amazed by some of the stuff that we get to do in regards of transportation. And many, many, many years ago, I was out in Cali hanging out, and I did the scooter route. And I was like, this is going to be the next takeover, the scooters. But holy crap, have I been amazed with the e-bikes. And I will tell you, if I'm, letting you know my feelings on it, when I got that e-bike, I remember telling someone, I was like, listen, I'll be shocked if I ride this thing one time. Like, seriously, one time. I think if I look right now, I'm over 400 miles in less than a couple of months. I guess I have an addiction all of a sudden to this thing. But they're interesting on how they work. So, I don't know, which mode of transportation, I don't think I'd drive around in a scooter, like a Vespa type of thing, but that's just me. Anyway, take a listen to this one. The growth of Chick-fil-A in recent years had a major downstream effect for the American fast food chicken experience. Over the last year, KFC has lost about 5% points of market share in the chicken chain business, pulling it down to the number 3 spot, enough to get overtaken by Popeyes, which has surged 12% of the marketplace to 15%. Chick-fil-A now accounts for almost half of the chicken chain restaurant sales in the U.S. I would have never guessed that that's where it was at, but hey, I guess that's what it is. Take a listen to this one. Ring has announced $1 million search for extraterrestrials. The home security company is offering $1 million to anyone who captures scientific evidence of an ET on their device. Here's how it works. Starting on November the 3rd, anyone over the age of 18 can submit a video that they believe it to be an out-of-this-world being caught on the Ring camera. All footage will be reviewed by a space and ET expert. One lucky winner, there you go. One lucky winner will get $1 million in two $50,000 yearly payments for 2 decades, according to the announcement. Fun money. Ring also is offering a $500 Amazon gift card to the most creative submissions, aka dressed up as an alien people. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a weird one where you could do a mixture of things if you were so inclined to do so. I mean, don't you think? I mean, it gives you some ops. It gives you some opportunities there that you probably weren't accounting for. But hey, I'm looking for the angle. I'm looking for the angle on, how can you make some moolah off of some fun stuff? And that seems like the way to go. Anyways, let's do this real quick. I have some Aaron Royale waiting over there in regards of wanting to talk about what the hell's going on with the money matters. So let's make some money matter.
UAW President Shawn Fain is expected to address union members again today on the status of contract negotiations with Detroit's big 3 automakers. He has announced walkouts over the past couple weeks and may include more locations. There has reportedly been progress made in talks with Stellantis and Ford Motor Company, with Ford reportedly making significant offers. It includes a large pay raise and the end of the tiers of employment. General Motors secured a $6 billion credit line as talks continue. X is taking out headlines and texts from links. Before, a thumbnail would accompany links along with the article's title and a line or two of text. Now, only the article's lead image is shown. The social media platform's owner, Elon Musk, said in August that he would be making the change for a sleeker look. But the move officially happened a day after Musk said publishers should try posting their content directly on X in long form. He wrote in a post that X doesn't prioritize links to discourage users from clicking away. The Powerball jackpot has ballooned to nearly $1.5 billion. Michael Kastner with more.
These folks in New Jersey are buying tickets and planning what to do with all that money if they win.
I would pay my husband's credit cards off, invest, and buy a home.
Take a long trip somewhere in the Caribbean. I'd figure out what I was going to do from there.
The estimated jackpot ranks as the third largest in the Powerball game and fifth largest among U.S. lottery jackpots. The next drawing is Saturday night. The odds of winning are about 1 in 292 million.
Abercrombie & Fitch is launching an investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against its former CEO. The BBC originally published claims that Mike Jeffries exploited men for sex. The company said in a statement that they are appalled and disgusted by the behavior. The statement emphasized that Jeffries has not been employed by the retailer for nearly 10 years. Abercrombie & Fitch has been working with an outside law firm since being contacted by the BBC. With consumer and business news, Aaron Real, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Aaron, for the information right there on what the hell is going on inside of the world of the biz. Let's get into the numbers. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of stuff. So let's do it this way. The Dow was mostly flat on Thursday, down about 10 points to close at 33,119. The S&P lost about 5 points to close at 4,258. NASDAQ lost about 16 points to close at 13,219. West Texas Intermediate fell about $82, and Brent crude was about $84 a barrel. So there you go. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.76. And Bitcoin tumbled more than 1.25% on Thursday, trading just around $27,400. There was more than 3,255 flights delayed within, into, and out of the United States on Thursday, with more than 125 such cancellations. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $300 million jackpot or $155.9 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, good luck on doing so. Saturday night's Powerball drawing will be for, you ready for this? $1.4 billion or a $643 million 0.7 cash payout. That's before we even get into taxes. So there you go. If you ever wondered about, lifestyles of the rich and the famous, I guess that answers your question on what the hell you're paying in taxes there, because that's going to make you thinky inky as you move forward. Anyways, take a listen to this one. Virginia Attorney General says that he opposes the toll increase planned for Dulles Greenway in Northern Virginia. Take a listen to what Richard Sterling has to say.
Toll Road Investors Partnership, also known as TRIP, the private owner and operator of the 14-mile Dulles Greenway between Leesburg and Washington Dulles International Airport, filed a request with the State Corporation Commission to increase tolls by at least 21% back in July. The toll operator bases its pricing on the number of axles a driver's vehicle has, and said the increase would help it meet its financial obligations. The Virginia Mercury reports Attorney General Jason Miyares' office objected to the request last week to protect Virginians from unreasonable financial burdens. I'm Richard Stelling.
Okay, thank you, Richard, for that one, because it makes you think about some stuff. Let's keep it real quick and moving forward. First Lady Jill Biden visits the Hudson Valley today. Jennifer Bolsoni reports.
First Lady Jill Biden making a few stops in Dutchess County. She's attending the opening of the new Advanced Manufacturing Mechatronics Lab at Dutchess Community College in Fishkill. The 6,000-square-foot space includes state-of-the-art equipment for hands-on learning in electronic automation, mechanical, and HVAC systems. Biden, who herself is a community college educator, also has a scheduled stop by Day One Early Learning Community in Poughkeepsie. The focused discussion on early childhood education. The visit all part of President Biden's Investing in America plan. Jennifer Bolsoni, NBC News Radio, New York.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer, for that one. Amtrak is making changes to fuel used in the Pacific Surfliner. Bree Tennis has the deets.
Trains from San Diego to L.A. will no longer be powered by diesel fuel. Instead, Amtrak says they're making the switch to cooking oil. They say doing so will slash fuel emissions by 63% over its life cycle. Jewel Edson is the chair of the Los Angeles-San Diego-San Luis Obispo corridor. She says cooking oil is chemically similar to fossil diesel and will reduce its carbon footprint. I'm Bree Tennis, NBC News Radio.
So I wonder if you can do some cooking at the same time as that you're doing, the maneuvering.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, yes, entertainment in this show. I don't know if there's a combination there, but I guess it does happen. A Lundberg County woman is recovering while wildlife officials are investigating her report of a bear attack. Richard Sterling has more.
Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources says they haven't yet been able to confirm that the woman who was walking her dog was attacked by a bear. Members of the surrounding community tell CBS 6 they are shocked because the area has had a growing population of black bears, but the animals typically run away from people. Reports say emergency crews airlifted the woman yesterday to the hospital where she is listed in stable condition. The Department of Wildlife Resources does not believe there is a threat to the public at this time. I'm Richard Stelling.
Well, I don't think the lady made the thing up. I mean, how do you fake a bear attack? That's the question that I get. Anyways, the state of California is giving Los Angeles a $19 million grant for climate reliance projects. The money will be used to fund the Department of Water and Power turf replacement program, as explained by Mayor Karen Bass.
We could encourage Angelenos, especially Angelenos in underserved areas, to transition away from the traditional lawn that we're used to in Los Angeles.
So you're going to transition for free. Crews will be replacing grass lawns with turf in underserved communities. About $14.6 million of the $19 million will pay for turf replacement possible for 2,500 properties. The program begins next year. The homeowner is a fan of the turf lawn.
It's just fantastic. Low maintenance, hardly any water, and I get to go enjoy myself golf.
He said hardly any water, so you just have to water the thing? Damn, that sucks. Anyways, former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald is suing the university and its presidents for $130 million for wrongful termination. Attorney Dan Webb announced the lawsuit after Fitzgerald was suspended and then fired in July over allegation of hazing within the football program. Take a listen to this.
They developed no evidence at all that Coach Fitzgerald or the coaching staff ever knew that there was any hazing behavior going on.
The suit accuses Northwestern of breaching 2 legally binding contracts with longtime coach. In response of the lawsuit announcement, the university released a statement saying that Fitzgerald failed to stop the hazing and that they remain confident that they acted appropriately by terminating him. I don't know. Did they act properly? I don't know.
Another pitfall of our society. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, take a listen to this. Detroit police are investigating after a person was shot in the corner of Adams and Woodward Avenue early on Thursday morning. Kenneth Turnbow Jr. was shocked about the shooting.
Never, ever had nothing like that ever happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad.
The area is very close to Comerica Park and Ford Field, and the suspect took off on a northbound on Woodward after the shooting and is still at large. The 36-year-old victim is hospitalized and in critical condition. The shooter was last seen riding a white mountain bike in a gray hoodie, black pants, and a Detroit Tigers cap. Boy, does that really narrow it down. Neil Wilson had the reaction of the 36-year-old being shot. Take a listen.
That makes us feel real bad, man, here in Detroit, man, especially when they're putting up all this money downtown. Come on, man. We're tired of this.
So there you go. A lot of interesting stuff going on right there. Take a listen to this one. The Shand Zuckerberg Initiative is launching for its second bio-research facility in Illinois. CZI co-founder and CEO Priscilla Chan was on hand to announce the launch of the Chan Zuckerberg Bio Hub in Chicago.
Chicago Biohub is going to change the way our world deals with disease. Or to put it another way, it will help scientists do their part in ending disease as we know it.
The new biomedical research hub brings together 3 million people in Illinois, a leading scientific and technology institution, to study human tissue with the goal of enabling new groundbreaking therapeutics. They include the University of Chicago, University of Illinois, and Northwestern University. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there as we are talking. Take a listen to this. Counseling is available for students and staff at Morgan State University in Baltimore following the Tuesday night shooting that left 5 people injured. LifeBridge Health Psychiatry Chair Dr. Rashi says that it's okay to talk about what happened.
There is no reason to be afraid to talk about how we feel. So it's okay to talk about it, to express it, to be sad, to be angry, to feel any which way you might feel in this moment. It's all okay.
Dr. Ritchie says that talking about traumatic experience is especially important for people who already have mental health challenges. Students can also call the University Counseling Center at 1-800-422-00009. That's 1-800-422-00009. There is also help available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at UWill Counseling Services. Dr. Ritchie also says that post-traumatic stress is dangerous.
One of the scariest things with post-traumatic stress or exposure to violence is that it numbs the person to the effects of violence. So they might even be at higher risk of perpetuating or acting in violent ways.
So there you go. Thank you, Dr. Ritchie, for that information there for sure. No doubt about that. So that kind of makes you think of some thingy-ingies. That is for sure. It is that 32-minute mark past the top of the hour as we are hanging out. So let's do some more news on this Freeform Friday.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Simon Gaitan. The US has shot down an armed Turkish drone over Syria, according to the Pentagon, in what a US general called a regrettable incident. The drone reportedly came within 500 meters of US troops, currently deployed in the region against Islamic State militants. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he conducted fruitful talks with his NATO ally counterpart. Police in Thailand have arrested 4 men suspected of illegally modifying firearms and selling them to a teenager who went on a deadly gun rampage earlier this week. 2 people died in the shooting at a luxury Bangkok mall. Patrick Falk reports.
Reports say 2 people were arrested in Bangkok while another 2 were picked up in the southern province of Yala in relation to the shooting this week. The 4 are suspected of selling a blank gun to a 14-year-old who has been charged with premeditated murder and illegal possession of a firearm. Police say there was also live streaming equipment at the home of one of the suspects, suggesting the sale took place over social media. The killing has put gun ownership in the spotlight in Thailand, where firearms can be modified and obtained illegally. Many are smuggled from overseas. Patrick Falk, Singapore.
India has confirmed it has asked Canada to reduce its diplomatic representation in the country. Reports early this week claimed New Delhi had told Ottawa it needs to repatriate 41 diplomats by the 10th of October. Canada has 61 diplomats serving in India across 4 missions. This follows allegations by Canada that India was potentially involved in the killing of a Sikh separatist, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, in June. India has called the allegation absurd and motivated. Here's Arindam Bagchi, the spokesperson for India's foreign ministry.
Given the much higher diplomatic presence of Canadian diplomats or diplomatic presence here in Canada and their continuing interference in our internal affairs, we have sought parity in our respective diplomatic presence.
Research from the UN Children's Agency has found that an average of 20,000 children are displaced every day because of extreme weather events. Between 2016 and 2021, flooding, fire and storms caused more than 43 million displacements of children. Julia Chapman reports.
In UNICEF's first report of its kind, the organisation examined how many children have been forced to leave their homes because of the changing climate. During the 5-year period studied by researchers, more than half of child displacements took place in China, the Philippines and India. Caribbean islands have seen high numbers of children displaced by storms, with 76% of children in Dominica losing their homes in Hurricane Maria in 2017. Meanwhile, the US accounts for 75% of wildfire displacements of children. But it's flooding that overwhelmingly forces children to move, causing 95% of all child displacements worldwide. Julia Chapman, London.
From Bureaus Worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, the Bedbugs of Paris. Not a new band, but an infestation in the French capital that is now causing political problems for the city's authorities. All week long, social media and now traditional old-style media have offered non-stop coverage of the insects and darkly warned they could cast a shadow over next summer's Paris Olympics. Correspondent Peter Allen is still bravely based in the city.
City Hall isn't coping with it and is almost missing defeat and is calling on the Prime Minister, Elizabeth Bourne, and would you to do something. Would you believe it? Yesterday in the Parliament they brought a load of these creatures into the National Assembly in a jar to show them to everybody, to show them how horrible they are. They're blood-sucking, they're extremely unpleasant, and they are everywhere.
But not quite everywhere, at least not in Peter's immediate vicinity.
Somebody has put it very successfully into national consciousness, and everybody's talking about it now. But I think these public health crises, they can be created quite easily. I'm a very old part of Paris, right in the centre, and nobody among family and friends and the like has reported them. They're meant to be on the metro now, they're meant to be on cinemas, they're meant to be in hospitals, they're meant to be in cafes and restaurants. But I've just been very, very lucky.
Long may his luck hold, unlike President Macron, who had to convene a host of high-level meetings this week under pressure to respond to the problem. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, the US has shot down an armed Turkish drone in Syria, according to the Pentagon. Police in Thailand arrest 4 men on suspicion of illegally modifying firearms and selling them to a teenager who went on a deadly gun rampage earlier this week. India has confirmed it's asked Canada to reduce its diplomatic representation in the country amid an ongoing row between the nations. And 20,000 children are displaced every day by weather-related disasters, according to the UN's children agency, UNICEF. That's the latest feature story news. Simon Gaitan reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, Internet Service Providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
What do guys like besides pizza and morning sex?
Jay Allen in the morning.
It's so bizarre and unnatural.
It's all good on Radio Big.
Well, you know that here at Safety FM and Radio Big, we're always trying to look for life hacks. So with the busy season just around the corner, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for your jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kits, can help you fuel up with fast chef prepared, dietitian approved, and ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 weekly flavored packs. Dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. All you need to do is head over to factorsmeals.com/safetyfm50 and use code safetyfm50 to get 50% off. That's code safetyfm50 at factormeals.com/safetyfm50 to get 50% off. Go there. Do it now.
We're rocking all day at work because we don't give a duck. Autocorrect probably just saved my ass there.
Like I give a flying, you know.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp-speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
I saw the way you turned me on, even as I saw through you. I saw the way you called it, yeah, I saw the way you knew. And every time the world is wrong, we see it crystal clear, but we maintain the illusion that we all know why we're here.
Okay, here we go. Rated R Safety Show, 42 minutes past the top of the hour. You know this. This is Oceanic. We played this one before. We like it so much that it makes it every couple of weeks, it feels like. You can give it a little streamer-eamer action when you fall. Yeah, give it some streaming action. YouTube Music, Apple Music, Spotify. Oh, yes. It's that Freeform Friday. You know you like it. It's that freeform of the form of the form. There you go. This is Safety FM. Radio Big. G. Allen in the Morning Show. Rated R Safety Show. All tied into one. Anyways, we'd like to thank Oceanic for always letting us have a good time with their music. Because that's what's happening. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the most important thing that I'm going to tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. Regardless of what you're going through, whatever you're facing, no matter what is happening, you deserve to be connected to help. And To Write Love on Her Arms wants you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. All you have to do is go to their website, TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com to find out more information. Click on the section that says Find Help. All kinds of resources readily available, anything from scholarships, programs that they suggest, frequently asked questions, international resources as well. And they'll have information for the crisis text line for the UK, US, Ireland, National Suicide Prevention, Trans Life. I mean, if you think about some of the stuff that's out there, they covered the gamut of it. I didn't say damn it, I said gamut. The gamut of information of things that are readily available to be covered. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there as we are talking. So there you go. TWLOHA.com. Click on the section that says Find Help. So now you know. So let's talk about it. Some new movies coming out this weekend. The Exorcist Believer, when two girls disappear into the woods and return 3 days later with no memory of what happened. The father of the girl seeks out Chris Marnell, who has been forever changed by what happened to his daughter 50 years ago. The other one's Dix, the musical. Two obsessed businessmen discover that they're long lost identical twins and come together for the plot of a reunion of their eccentric divorced parents. So there you go. Yeah, that comes out today. And The Burial, inspired by true events and the handshake deal that goes sour. A funeral home owner enlists a charismatic and smooth-talking attorney to save his family's business. That's all available today. So there you go. Some 3 movies. I don't know. Does that make you say, hey, I am going to go to the movie theater now? I don't know. So take a listen to this news of the weird. Police in Slovakia say that that the speed camera they picked up a very strange image in the quiet village of Stirlisly. Of officers from the startled to see the image of a family dog behind the wheel speeding car as it picked up the road camera footage after posting the image of a funny Facebook post. The owner of the car was quickly found. The problem, the driver claimed that his brown hunting dog happened to leap across the seat onto his lap as he was driving on the road. The footage has proven to be a tall tale. He ultimately was fined for the offense. Not the first time the guy has been blamed the dog, and definitely not the last, so there you go. Anyways, take a listen to this. A woman has filed a lawsuit against Disney World in Florida claiming that she suffered injuries while she was riding an attraction at the theme park of Typhoon Lagoon Water Park back in 2019. The suit Emma Guinness says that her injuries occurred at the Humunga Kawabunga, a slide that is approximately 214 feet above the pool. She and her husband are seeking $50,000 in damages. So $50,000. She's pulling that number out of her ass? I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
I mean, I don't know. Let's talk about some Did You Know, because I feel like we have some Did You Know in our system today. Talking on your cell phone in the bathroom to spend some quality time on the toilet isn't such a good idea, according to Stanford and Harvard-trained gastroenterologists. In a video posted on TikTok, the doctors that are scrolling on social media while you're doing your business can have some serious health consequences. And for a matter of that, doing business on your phone while doing business can as well. So, they also explained that the first using the phone while doing number two can lead to prolonged sitting on the toilet, which can cause a strain and pressure on the rectum and anus. That can also lead to issues such as hemorrhoids, fissures, and rectal prolapse. He concluded that it's probably don't need any more details than that, but they aren't the only reason that you should not bring your phone into the bathroom, which is all of what you should also know. He also says that it can be breeding ground for bacteria, but if you must at least have disinfectant wipes for your phone as you are doing that. Well, now what am I going to do all weekend? I mean, I guess that's something to think about as we are talking. No doubt about that. So, some stuff to think about for sure. I mean, who wants to hear that shit? No, seriously, I'm not joking.
We are now video streaming the Rated R Safety Show. I don't know why our host has a face for radio. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so there you go. We are at 49 minutes past the top of the hour. Let's do this a little bit earlier than what we normally do it, but let's get some motivation inside of our world, because I think that we need the Motivation Minute with some John Smalls right now.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Dan. Albert Einstein said, "There will come a time when the rich own all of the media. It will be impossible for the public to make an informed opinion." Good old Albert Einstein was a smart dude. I think he may have been onto something with this quote. I get inundated with messages from many different media outlets, many that you'd think are all independent of one another. But the messages seem to be a unified message. Then when you track things back to the source, you discover they're all actually connected way upstream. It may seem like they're all different voices in a choir, but maybe they're really all relaying the same message from the same source. Some with a little more flair and some with a little less, but in the end, it's all the same message. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
The UK has proposed changing the minimum age people can buy cigarettes in England in order to stop more people from developing the habit.
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak claimed smoking costs the National Health Service $20 billion a year, but the UK's plan doesn't address disposable vapes.
The CDC says it's no longer distributing COVID-19 vaccine cards. There was a time when you practically couldn't leave home without it. It had to be shown at airports, Broadway theaters, restaurants in many cities during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, but that time is past. International travelers no longer have to show their COVID vaccine cards when arriving from other countries, but the CDC says if you're leaving the U.S., you should check what the rules are wherever you're going. testing. And if you need a full vaccine record, the CDC says you can get it from your state health department. Health Updates, Sarah Lee Kessler, NBC News Radio.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. As I prepare this devotion, my eyes are damp with tears and my heart hurts. 13 months ago, my wife of 56 years went to be with the Lord. Although my grief has been nearly unspeakable at times, it was richly seasoned with the promise of God's presence and the hope of eternal life. At last, I am moving from grief to gratefulness. Rather than grieving her death, I am now celebrating the rich life we shared. Lord Jesus, redeem my memories, turn my grief into gratefulness, that I may praise you all the days of my life. In your holy name I pray. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
It's this show, and they just make fun of a whole bunch of people. It's just too funny. It's too stupid.
Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, Rated R Safety Show. That is some good stuff going on right now in regards to what we're talking about. At least it seems that way. Thanks for the daily devotion, because now I feel like I'm devoted to you daily. I'm desperately devoted to you. Hopelessly devoted to you. Now, that sounds like a Grease song as we are talking. So let's get into some more information, because information we have. Remember that we talked about that MGM cyber attack? Well, the cyber attack on MGM Resource in Las Vegas last month lost the company about $100 million. It said that it's filing for Securities and Exchange Commission on Thursday. Mark Mayfield has more.
MGM Resorts had to shut down on purpose a number of services to limit customer risk in September, as it impacted key cards for rooms and corporate emails. MGM owns the Bellagio and Mandalay Bay along the Las Vegas Strip, with rival Caesars Entertainment hinting in its SEC filing that it may have paid the hackers to go away. I'm Mark Mayfield.
So there you go. Some stuff to think about for sure. Take a listen to this. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concert film is a hot ticket. AMC Theaters, the movie official distributor, announced on Thursday that the global advanced ticket sales has surpassed $100 million. The theater chain added that the film shattered the single-day U.S. ticket sales record. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour hits theaters on October the 13th in more than 100 countries. Analysts say that the movie, which captures Swift's recent record-breaking stadium tour, could bring $100 million on the opening weekend. Well, if you have $100 million in ticket sales, I don't think it's a genius move on saying that. I mean, I'm just saying. Anyways, a visit to Disneyland will be a little less expensive for families for the short time. Take a listen.
The theme park is offering a new limited-time Kids Special ticket for children ages 3 to 9 years old. Starting October 24th, a child's ticket to the park could run as low as $50 a day. They're valid for use between January 8th and March 10th of next year. They're good for 1, 2, or 3-day park tickets with upgrades such as Park Hopper tickets and Disney Genie Plus. The tickets do not include blockout dates and are dependent on available reservations. I'm Dina Kodiak.
I'm so confused by the whole reservation thing there at Disney, but hey, that's not something for me to tackle on this show. That's for sure. Anyways, let's talk about some events that happened back on this date. If I take a look around real quick, if I look at the year, let's see, 1996, Bob Dole and President Bill Clinton meet for the first debate. The debate took place at Hartford, Connecticut, and was moderated by Jim Lear of PBS fame. Most voters considered Clinton the winner, and he would go on for re-election that November. So there you go. That happened back in 1996. If you're looking at some birthdays for today, Addison Rae and J.S. Jennings turned 23. Trevor Lawrence turns 24. Matt Cornett turns 25. Braxton Berrios, 28. Scarlett Bryan, 38. Let's see. Brett Gelman, 47. Jeremy Sisto, 49. Ian Grufford, 50. Amy Jo Johnson turns 53. And Elizabeth Shue. Oh, good old Miss Elizabeth Shue. She turns 60 today, just in case if you were wondering. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, I always have some of those for you. So let's talk about them as we go through it. National Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day. Wacky Hospice PJ Day, National Physician Assistant Day, World Smile Day, National Noodle Day, National Badger Day, World Cerebral Palsy Day, Inbox Zero Day, Kids Music Day, and then last but not least, It's National Mad Hatter Day. Yeah, did you even know that was a thing? Well, let's discuss it.
Today we dig deep and bring out all the silliness you possess, as today is National Mad Hatter Day. Walk backwards, host a tea party, and a hat definitely a must.
How silly!
Everything you do today should be big in gesture and a little bit off. And maybe watch Alice in Wonderland and celebrate the Lewis Carroll character who's just a little bit mad.
This is an unbirthday party.
I'm Bree Tennis, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Bree, for giving us the breakdown of exactly what it's all about, because you do the hokey pokey. Okay, no, that's something else. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there. So let's talk about this real quick. If you need a random joke for today, I have one of those for you, because that's what I do around here. I'm the jokester. So it's Friday, time to go make some stories for Monday. That one doesn't work for you. Try this one. If there's one thing I've learned is that you can give up on your family no matter how tempting they make it. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't give up. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. Anyways, if you need a phone starter for today, try this. Given the choice, who would you like to live like for a day? Well, I guess today's the Mad Hatter, so there you go. Some Mad Hatting going on for sure. If you need something for the water cooler, try this. Question: 53% of us have done this for a friend or a loved one just to show they care. What is it? Delivered a home-cooked meal. A home-cooked meal. I remember when I was younger, much younger, I used to have people come by and deliver home-cooked meals from time to time when I was with no one else, just to make sure. Well, that took a dark turn right away. Anyway, so thank you for being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big and hanging out with me on this lovely Friday. If you want to come over to the other side, the dark side, you can come over to Radio Big if you're not there already. And I'll go out there for the next couple hours or so and do the thing with Musica, because, we do the music thing around here. There is no doubt about that. So if you want to come out of that and hang out, we can do all that fun stuff for you. So there you go. If you hang out on Safety FM, Sheldon Primus will come in and do the business of safety consulting, because that's what he talks about. So let's go from there. Anyways, deep thoughts. Here's what it sounds like. Working hard for something you don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something you care about or love is called passion. Think about that. The other portion, remember, if you're in Canada, it's Thanksgiving on Monday. So Thanksgiving is the meal that we aspire for other meals to resemble. Keep those things in mind. Anyways, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
When you fall, then I don't. When you care, then I won't. You weren't ready when it happened.